What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Rod Too Deep, back at it again with another video. This video is going to be my thoughts and review of episode 4 of the HBO Max series, Welcome to Derry, season 1. Before I get started, I will say a quick spoiler warning. If you have not yet watched season 1, episode 4 of Welcome to Derry, or the previous 3 episodes of the series, click off of the video now if you do not want to be spoiled. You have been warned. To start off the episode, I had a gut feeling that there would be some sort of issues with the photos that Will, Lily, Ronnie, and Rich had took. My thoughts were that either Chief Bowers and the other 2 policemen wouldn't be able to see what they had captured in the photos, or it would be completely different photos. I was pretty much right to an extent. The first photos were pretty much nothing, but they were still able to see Pennywise in the last photo, but neither of them thought much of it. And it was a load of bull. That was just the thought process that they had, which was to be expected from these adults. I'm starting not to mess with the chief. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt in the first 2 episodes, but he's definitely starting to get on my bad side. It enrages me how keen the chief is on sending Ronnie's dad to Shawshank. If her pops ends up being there for too long, he may end up getting shanked himself. I for sure agree with Rich and them about how they believe that Pennywise is messing with them because he could have easily killed them at the graveyard that night. He tends to like to toy with and torture his victims with fear as much as he can before killing them, just like he did in the previous 2 It films. I wasn't surprised to see that Lily was referring to the nurse at Juniper Hill. It seems as though they have a pretty strong connection. It's nice to see that Lily has an adult figure in her life that is understanding of her. The nurse seems to be a good replacement for Lily's mother, who thinks she's a psycho. I feel like Rose and Charlotte are going to be a duo to watch in the next 4 episodes. I feel like Charlotte needs to really understand that Leroy can't question orders too much, because at the end of the day, he is a black man, and I just really don't understand why she can't get her head wrapped around this. But I do like that Rose let her know that it's never a bad idea to keep the people you love close to you. Wish she could have got more descriptive and maybe talked about what occurred in the forest when she was younger and just about her encounter with Pennywise in general. But she did give her number at least, so maybe they'll have that conversation in a future episode. Like I have stated previously, something is definitely going to happen to either Halloran or just maybe his boys, especially in their new meetup place that was given to them by the military. I wasn't expecting Charlotte to find the photos that Will had taken the night at the graveyard. I love how she was protective, but at the same time understanding of Will as well. And I feel like her previous conversation with Rose may have helped a bit there. Him being forced to come straight home after school could definitely lessen his chances of dying. Hopefully, as long as Pennywise doesn't try to attack him at home like he's done with a few of the kids previously, specifically Ronnie, Lily, and poor old Teddy, rest his soul. Leroy seemed to be happy that Will is crushing on a black girl. He seemed relieved at the same time. And something was telling me that there was going to be an issue with Leroy and Will while they were fishing. Love seeing them continue to grow their bond together, though. But once Leroy left Will by himself, I knew something was going to jump from out of that water. I can't even lie. Seeing that fish suddenly turn into Leroy's hand and grab Will out of the water made me flinch a bit. But I haven't flinched from a scary movie or show in years. The writers and producers got me good on that one. I thought Will was going to drown, but thankfully Leroy had hustled back quickly enough to save him in time. I'm thankful that Will has bruises to show proof of the attack. I think Leroy would have believed him either way, though. Pennywise is getting real comfortable, I feel like, because he's making his presence known in broad daylight. Boy, am I telling y'all, them white folk is going to really put them hands on Charlotte if she keeps stooping her nose into things. I understand that she just wants to help out her brother being falsely accused, but this can be dangerous, not just for herself, but for her family as well. Pennywise continues to violate as he keeps popping up as Dick Halloran's deceased grandmother. Leroy was pretty much pressing Halloran about what they are exactly looking for with the military. They're going to throw hands at some point this season. That's another prediction from me. Halloran kept it a buck with Leroy, though. He's just doing what he has to do, and at the same time, he doesn't want to know what it is they're exactly looking for. He needs to talk to someone about what he's been seeing lately since his encounter with Pennywise. Lily may have hinted that Maddie is actually still alive when she was claiming that we don't know if he's actually 100% dead. I'm thinking to myself, maybe there were two survivors, Phil and Maddie, and the only two that actually died was baby girl Susie and Teddy. Will continues to impress me with his intelligence, just like his pops. He may actually be on the money about how some predators like to taste the fear hormones. He also perfectly described Pennywise without even knowing it, about how these predators like to stalk and scare their prey until they smell just right and then eat them. And that's what Pennywise is currently doing. I don't like that Lily is giving them pills to them, but if it stops Pennywise from killing them and reduces their fear, what the heck, I guess. Doing it one time won't hurt you, you know. But while watching Charlotte talk to Hank, I wasn't expecting him to be hiding that he was smashing a married white woman the night of the murders of Phil, Teddy, and baby girl Susie. He has a good point that this is something that probably should be kept hidden, because they will either just straight up hang his behind or brutally kill him as soon as he steps foot in that prison cell. I hope Charlotte can find a way to get him on house arrest, because we know it's going to be hard because he's not going to tell the truth under these circumstances. But hopefully she could get it done. I'm really also hoping that Charlotte won't end up in a cell right alongside him, with how much she's been involving herself in things these first couple of episodes. The general seems to know the whole process of Pennywise. There's a cycle that occurs, and once that cycle ends, Pennywise goes back on the ground to his lair. Curious to see what will happen once they open the gate and invite him in. We all know that won't end well for anyone in the town of Derry. I'm getting tired of Marge and the Patty Cakes pretty much bullying Lily every chance they get. Trying to embarrass her in front of the whole cafeteria would have been messed up. Thankfully, that didn't occur. But I'm not going to front. Seeing Marge's eyes basically turn into eyes similar to Gary from SpongeBob had my body feeling uncomfortable. I really thought Marge was going to die for a second, but it looks like she will just be missing an eye. Them glasses she be wearing won't be much of use anymore. I do feel a little bad, though, because at the end of the day, she is a little girl. And I still feel like she can have a redemption arc, especially after having her first encounter with Pennywise in a way. Everyone walking in on Lily on top of Marge while she was holding the tool in her hand makes her look like a psychopath. Even Will and them were looking scared of her. Guess we're going to see her back in Juniper Hill the next episode, maybe for the foreseeable future this time around. No one is going to believe that she didn't hurt Marge. She's once again covered in the blood of one of her friends. Hopefully Marge will tell the truth. She may be in shock after this traumatic situation, though. Charlotte needs to listen to Leroy and not stir up the pot. She may potentially make things even worse. I was hoping that Leroy would be able to catch a glimpse of Pennywise after running outside to see who was watching their house. But at least he got a second encounter with the red balloon that Pennywise always leaves behind. Halloran entering Taniel's mind to get the answer of where Pennywise is located was insane. I knew he had some sort of powers from the previous episode, but was not expecting that. I bet Taniel quickly regretted spitting on Halloran after the pain he had to endure. They seem to refer to Pennywise as the Galoo, I guess it was they were saying. I honestly can't remember how they pronounced it, but I think it's the Galoo. We essentially got an entire backstory of Pennywise, what they referred to as the Galoo. He came from a star that was holding a monster. He is the monster in this case, and the star holding him was pretty much like his cage. And there's a stone it was made from, the star, and it held some sort of power. So I guess the stone that was made from the star has some sort of power to it. And their wisest took a shard from that same star and carved it into a weapon in order to protect their people from the Galoo. Of course, when the settlers arrived, they didn't listen to their people about not entering the woods, and that resulted in them being hunted down by the Galoo. He ate them all and became stronger from feeding on the settlers, which now enabled him to be able to hunt and go outside of the western woods. That dagger that was carved by their people was no longer strong enough to take down the Galoo of the western wood. This was a very nice way of giving us viewers a quick story of how Pennywise came about. It's going to be interesting to see how the military goes about trying to cage Pennywise in a way that he can never break free. Halloran had me dying the way he was clapping his hands after hearing Tannew's story about how his people used pillars to stop Pennywise, and that scene just overall had me cracking up. I'm not going to lie. And Tannew finally ended up caving in and showed Halloran where to find the pillars. So basically, to find the pillars, they have to follow the tunnels under the old well, and that's where they're gonna find the pillars in what looks to be a abandoned house from the looks of it. And yeah, so this was my review of It Welcome to Derry Season 1, Episode 4. That was another great episode. I'm really looking forward to Episode 5, which comes out Sunday, November 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you all have a blessed day. Keep progressing and stay true to yourselves always. Peace.
Are we all that we're meant to be this way? I'm afraid I don't know if we can change.